Welcome, Namaste, Namaskar. Welcome back to Jal Prayag. Today I'm going to continue on one of the chart work topics on which I had done only one video. So let us look at the topic. As you can see on the screen itself, I'm going to take the three bearing method, which is also called as three-point bearing. Earlier, I had done one case which had a different type of data. So I'm going to do case number 2. And you can see in the title itself, I've written that I'm going to give you out of the 6 data normally you are given in any chart triangle. I'm going to give you 2 data and a fix. So this is what I'm going to do in this case. Let us quickly go through the question. Before I go to the question, I strongly recommend please watch the earlier video because in that video I've mentioned what is the concept, what are the clues and conditions that can be given, and how to judge whether it's a three bearing method or not. So I request please go and see that. That will help you to go in the sequence, because in this particular video I'm concentrating more on the process rather than the concepts. So I just request you to go back to Jalprayag, search for the playlist. It is called Chart Work and Three Bearing. It's video number 24 if you want to look at the serial numbers. Just to keep you posted, the numbers are not in sequence. So this video I had done quite some time back, the first one. So now it is going to be, this number is going to be 93. So serial numbers do not go in sequence, but you can always search in the playlist. I'm going to take case number 2 here. So that is what I had mentioned. Let me show you the question also, and then we'll have a look how to go about. I'm going to use allowing method, and for knowing about allowing method, you have to go to the chart work triangle. That is also in the playlist. You can have a look. I'm not going to talk about what is allowing method. It is already there. And here in this question, out of the 6 data which we normally encounter in a chart work question, I'm going to give you only 2. And I will support it with a fix. I can use multiple lighthouse also, but at the same time, I can go with a single lighthouse also. So here I'm going to give you multiple lighthouse in this particular question. Let us say whatever time it is, doesn't matter. I had a bearing of lighthouse Romeo at 0800, and the bearing was 030. And again, after sailing for 30 minutes, I'm getting one more bearing for the same lighthouse Romeo. Then I'm going to use a second lighthouse called Kilo, and with the total start after 1 hour 15 minutes, I'm getting a bearing of Kilo also, but this time I'm getting a range as well. So let us see how to go about, and he has to give me the 2 data as I mentioned. So it will be, let us say, CTS and engine speed of 12 knots. He's asking me to find the remaining components of your chart work triangle. So I mentioned it, CMG, DMG, and set and drift, and all the 3 positions also. As I said, I will not be concentrating on the clues and conditions and the uh, way you determine whether it's 3 bearing or not. Here, I have all those clues and conditions. I've already decided that I have to do a 3 bearing. And this is the reason I said, please go and have a look on video number 24. You can have a better insight of how to proceed step by step. So the first timers, please watch video number 24 and then come here. Otherwise, it will be difficult. You will be just going on the process without understanding why you are following something in sequence. So in this question, I'm involving Romeo as well as I'm going to involve Kilo. So I got 2 lighthouses here. So let us start. I've clearly mentioned at the top itself, it is an allowing method, and 1 fix is given and 2 lights are given. Okay. I'm going to draw the first given PLs from Romeo. Just a small note. From this Romeo, I have only two bearings. I don't have all the three bearings. But for this question, I need three bearings. Okay? So I'm marking them. As I always recommend, please remember the timestamps and the symbol of the bearing should be given properly in the exam also. You should write it, the timestamps also. Then the next is he has given me the range and bearing of kilo at the same time. So basically, I'm going to get a fix from kilo. I've got it. Now, for you to start three bearing, one of the most important condition, this, as I said, please watch video 24, is that I should have all the three true bearings joining in one place. So for me, I have to modify this question. The previous question, which is video number 24, was with a different data. So now we have a different data. Now I'm going to modify this question. Since I know the fix and I know the position of Romeo, I can join Romeo with 915 fix and create one more indirect bearing. This is not the direct bearing, it's indirect bearing. Now I've satisfied the most important condition of three bearing question. All the three bearings are joining at one point, which is Romeo. Okay, that is what is one of the conditions. Now I have to proceed depending on the data given. We have only two data, and again, a reminder, your whole three bearing method gives you only one data, which is your CMG. Please remember, again, as I said, please watch the previous video. So my job is to find the CMG. So what is the process? First thing, usually, this is what I can. This is not the only thing, this is what I can, but I always suggest please go on this method. Take the middle bearing, which is 830, and draw a perpendicular line with 830 at Romeo. So this is your perpendicular line. This is also called as ratio line because I'm going to use the ratio method here. What is the ratio? I can use time ratio. 8 to 8:30 is 30 minutes and the remaining time is 45 minutes. This can be changed into a distance ratio also, which is called 6 nautical miles and 9 nautical miles. So I'll prefer taking 6 and 9. I can measure it from the chart and I will take 6 and 9. How do I use it? I'm going to use on the first uh, side of the, let us say you are at Romeo, you will see on the left hand side is your first half an hour ratio, and on the right hand side is your second ratio. So I'm going to draw the first ratio 6 nautical miles on the left hand side and 9 nautical miles ratio on the right hand side. And I'm going to mark two markers called X and Y. Now from X and Y, I'm going to draw two lines. These lines, you can call it parallel to the middle bearing. That means your 830 bearing. So I'm drawing two lines parallel. My intention is to intersect them with the first and the third true bearings, which was given as a part of the question. So that is what I have done. I have intersected. Now there's a small second way of talking about the same two is, you see here I have X and Y. I can call it in a slightly different way. I'm going to draw lines from X and Y which are perpendicular to the ratio line also, which is exactly the same. And these two intersection points on the first and third bearing are called Alpha and Zulu. Very important, Alpha, Zulu are not any positions, they are just markers. So this is very important. People do the mistake of thinking that they are positions. No, they are only markers. So when I join them, I call that as CMG. So this is the only data I can find by three bearing method. I found it. And if you remember, I started at alpha. I did not stop at Zulu. I continued. So just to show you that this is only a direction. You cannot measure alpha and Zulu and tell that this is a DMG or SMG for your question. No, you cannot do it. Okay. So this is an open line, unending line. So that is the reason. Now, the moment you got CMG, always is a golden rule in your chart work that your position is always on the CMG track. So what I'm going to do is transfer that CMG to the 9 o'clock fix. Now please start exactly at the first bearing and stop at the last bearing. Why? Because now I need to do the measurements. Now you'll see wherever the CMG intersects the other bearings, that is the second bearing and the first bearing, those are evidently the two fixes at 8 o'clock and 8:30 also. And now, since I started the line only from 8 o'clock fix and I finished only at 9:15 fix, I can measure this distance and I can call it DMG. The reason DMG, it is not a 1 hour, it is 1 hour 15 minutes. The whole problem is 1 hour 15 minutes. So let us proceed further. Now, if you look at your 6 data, I have found out CMG and now I have found out DMG also. And what is pending for me is the set end rate, which is the current. So for this, I'll have to complete the triangle. I will run my course steered and engine speed for 1 hour 15 minutes from 8 o'clock fix and arrive at Bravo. From here, all I have to do is join Bravo and 9:15 fix. And that is what is the set and drift for 1 hour 15 minutes. If it was for 1 hour, I would have called it set and rate, but now it is set and drift. So I put the symbols. Please watch the symbols. A single arrow for CTS, 2 arrows for your CMG track, and 3 arrows for your set and drift. Now, as I had already mentioned, you would have measured your 8 o'clock to 9:15 fixed distance, and that is DMG. So with this, basically I've completed all the 6 data of your triangle. CTS and engine speed was given to you in the question. I found out CMG, DMG with the 3 bearing method. And then I completed the triangle from Bravo to 9:15 fix, which gives me your set and drift. At the same time, this is only a value added information for you, not necessary. You will realize that Bravo is also the DR. And that is why, because I started from a known fix, ran my CTS and engine speed, and that is what is the definition of DR. That's the end of this second video, which is kind of giving you 2 cases of your 3 bearing method. I can go on with different cases also, but I feel it is okay if you know 2 cases. One case was earlier done in video number 24, and now in this video. This should give you a fair idea how to work with. You can have a question on counteracting method also. I will leave it right now with these 2 methods for 3 bearing, which satisfies a lot of conditions, but there are more cases also. And if sometimes I get a time, I'll make a MMD question and show you how to solve that. That will be more of a real practical thing. But I feel this itself will give you a lot of clue how to solve a problem. That's it for now. I'll come back with the next video soon. Until then, keep watching Jal Prayag and Vanakkam, Namaste, Namaskar.